It's almost 7 inches of sheer beef, and it features everyone's favourite Waifu-tastic jailbait AI assistant Mora. It's the fresh new RedMagic 11s Pro, an upgraded re-release of the RedMagic 11 Pro, powered by Qualcomm's all-new SnapDragon 8 Elite Gen 5 lead-in version, making this the most powerful gaming phone in all the land. And these days, pretty much the only gaming phone in all the land. But regardless, if you're well into your Genshin, your Wuthering Waves, or other memory-sucking Android titles, you should certainly consider getting the RedMagic 11s Pro stashed in your pants. Been testing it out for about 3 weeks now, so here's my full RedMagic 11s Pro review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, from a design standpoint, pretty much nothing has changed here compared with the old RedMagic 11 Pro. It's once again a completely flat, shiny slab, and when I say slab, I mean it, because this thing weighs in at 230 grams, and that's heavier than some full-sized foldables in 2026, and of course, because it's completely smooth and completely flat, I'd definitely say maintaining a tight grip on it at all times is a good plan. It's pretty much my only complaint though. The rest of the design is rather lush. You've got this gorgeous full view finish, pretty much zero bezel action, and of course bugger all selfie cam up top as well. That's once again squirreled away underneath, very well hidden. You got the usual aluminium frame, and then it's Gorilla Glass front and back. I believe it's Gorilla Glass 7i up front, so quite scratch resistant. You do get a pre-installed screen protector slapped on there as well, and then just basic Gorilla Glass 5 around back. And speaking of the back, you got that same snazzy arse as the RedMagic 11 Pro. This is the Night Freeze model with its transparent finish. You can also grab it in Sub-Zero, basically silver. My one complaint, as usual, is the glossy finish does mean it gets rather smudgy. I'd certainly say keep a tissue or something handy to give it a good wiping down every now and then. And as usual, it's an arse well worth staring at, because you've got lots of intricate little details. You've got plenty of light up areas, including the logo and that fan. And of course, once again, your eyes are inexorably drawn towards that glowing ring right in the center. And this is the liquid coolant circulation shenanigans that was introduced in the previous phone, the RedMagic 11 Pro. You can just switch it on at any time if you like. It also activates when you're gaming, as you can see there, when you're fast charging the phone as well. And not only does it help prevent the RedMagic 11s Pro from getting too toasty, but it looks pretty bloody boss as well. And like the previous generation, once again IPX8 dust and water resistance. That means fully water resistant, you can drop it in the drink, no worries, but no certified dust resistance, so be careful around small particles basically. Now, when you want to get gaming, well, good news, it's once again an excellent ultrasonic fingerprint sensor built into this thing. So quick tap of your thumb, as you can see, you're immediately straight in. Super fast to act and dependable. You've also got face unlock as a backup option, of course. And on the software side, no changes there either. Once again, Android 16 with the RedMagic OS 11.5 launcher slathered on top. Imaginatively titled, and the number of years of OS updates and security patching you can expect will depend on your region. I believe here in the UK and in Europe, you'll get 5 years of OS updates and security patching, and a bit less in some other areas, so definitely check. And I rather like the RedMagic launcher because it doesn't bugger about with stock Android very much. You've still got your Discover feed, you've got your single notifications and control center panel. And refreshingly, there's not too much crapware stuffed on here. A couple of bits like AliExpress and good old bloody Booking.com, because that seems obligatory at all times. It also allows you to tweak and personalize lots of different aspects of the UI, from the fingerprint sensors and pretty snazzy animations in there. And the always on display. Fans of Mora will be pleased to see plenty of options featuring her in there. You can also customize the lighting in here, turn the RedMagic 11s Pro into a full-on disco machine. Oh, and you've once again got minimum 256 gigs of UFS 4.1 storage, though that will still fill up fairly fast if you download whopping great buggers like Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact. You can boost the storage if you want when you buy this thing. And as always, slapped on the side of the RedMagic 11s Pro, just beneath the power key, you'll find that bright red magic key. It's not a button, it's actually a slider. And a quick flick, and you're into the RedMagic gaming mode in rather dramatic fashion. And just try not to accidentally flick it if you're at the cinema or around anyone of a nervous disposition. And RedMagic fans will be right at home here. Once again, got fast access to all of the games you got installed on the RedMagic 11s Pro. You can piddle about with the settings, tweaking everything from the screen sensitivity to how much GPU performance you want. And of course, you can say a big hello to everyone's favorite inappropriately attired AI assistant, Mora. And mercifully, RedMagic has got rid of that horrific AI speak that plagued previous generations, and now she sounds like an actual person again.
I'm ready! How about you, Commander?
Oh, I'm ready, Mora. You betcha.
No touching, no touching.
Yeah, probably a good time to get HR involved. Of course, as always, when you're actually in a game, you can drag out the RedMagic toolbar with a swipe of the side like so. And this gives you fast and easy access to basically all of the features you could possibly need, including brightness sliders. You can adjust the volume, piddle about with the different performance modes. You've got Eco if you're playing something nice and basic like Brick Buster or whatever. Going up to Rise for the more demanding stuff like Wuthering Waves. If you scroll right to the very bottom of this left toolbar, you can see tons of features to piddle about with. There's even a quite well hidden Diablo mode if you want to push it to the absolute maximum. But as always, plenty of tools to give you a bit of assistance, especially in shooting games. You've got the likes of crosshairs and other visual indicators just to help you spot enemies. And then over here on the right, plenty of toggles. So for instance, you can have real-time information displayed on the screen showing you the exact frame rate and all that. Quite handy when you are benchmarking. You can optimize the device, which basically just removes all background tasks. Make sure you got all the memory free for your gaming session, etc. You can record the action. Set a wee alarm if you are prone to playing for several hours without realizing how much time has passed. Blocking notifications, all kinds of shenanigans. You can also toggle the fan on and off, but this is automatically handled by the RedMagic 11s Pro, so you don't even need to worry about that. And the RedMagic 11s Pro also sports a pair of 520Hz shoulder triggers. And these aren't actual buttons, they're just touch-sensitive areas slightly indented to the left and the right. When you tap them, you do get a bit of visual and haptic feedback as well. It's quite light haptic feedback, but it does the job. And as you can see, absolutely zero lag between tapping these shoulder triggers and getting an immediate on-screen response. As always, these are easy to set up through the gaming toolbar. Just basically drag these wee on-screen icons to whichever virtual buttons you want them to trigger, and you're good to go. And speaking of haptics as well, those are certainly up to snuff here on the RedMagic 11s Pro. You get a good bit of rumbly feedback with supported titles. Now, one of the few actual upgrades for the RedMagic 11s Pro versus the regular 11 Pro is the chipset which actually runs the show, because this is now the SnapDragon 8 Elite Gen 5 lead-in version. That's basically a posh way of saying that it's been overclocked a bit. It can now hit an impressive 4.74 GHz at peak performance. And the RedMagic 11 Pro came packing up to 24 gigs of RAM, but it appears that memory shortage has reared its ugly head once again. So here on the RedMagic 11s Pro, you got a choice of 12 or 16 gigs of RAM. That is it. I'll say that is it. 16 gigs obviously is still a pretty generous amount of memory, and that's what I've got stuffed in my review model here. And RedMagic has once again shoved its Red Core R4 chip in here as well, which just powers some of those in-game features, also keeps tabs on the performance and the cooling. And I found that, of course, naturally, even when Wuthering Waves was jacked up to the absolute top level visuals and stuck on 60 frames per second, that frame rate was as solid and stable as a brick house. Even when I was gaming on Wuthering Waves for well over 2 hours, that frame rate hugged the 60 FPS level, only occasionally dipping into the high 50s, no matter how intense and absolutely batshit mental things got. I didn't notice any real performance boost over the regular Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which is an absolute beefcake to begin with. But certainly going forwards, this lead-in edition version is a bit more future-proofed. Should be able to handle anything you chuck at it for years and years to come. And naturally, even running on the higher frame rate, the likes of Call of Duty Mobile, again, flawless performance. That screen is beautifully responsive. The shoulder triggers give you a real advantage as well when you're aiming and shooting, and just help to prevent your thumbs from getting tied into knots. Now, with all of this overclocking shenanigans going on, RedMagic certainly needed to stuff a decent cooling system inside of this bugger to prevent a meltdown. and thankfully that's exactly what they've done. You've got almost the exact same coolant setup here as the old RedMagic 11 Pro, which might seem slightly over the top, but that chipset does generate an awful lot of heat, so I'm certainly glad that it's all in there. And this includes the funky Aqua Core coolant system, using the same fluorinated liquid found in AI servers, how we love them, which apparently has been fully tested to ensure it's drop resistant, so if this thing does take a tumble, hopefully all of that fluorinated liquid won't be gushing all over the precious innards. And as well as that, you've also got the same enormous vapor chamber, over 13,000 square millimeters, covering from the camera right down to the bottom speaker. While the CPU is surrounded by liquid metal, which helps dissipate all that heat into the vapor chamber, which then distributes it all around the phone, while that liquid coolant and the fan and everything else does its thing. Oh yeah, did I even mention the fan? Yeah, that thing is bloody back again as well, in 24,000 RPMs at peak performance. Right now the fan is switched on just at regular speeds, and you have to stick it right up against your lungs to even hear the bloody thing. Triggered by the mic. If you stick it on fast cooling, it is clearly audible, but again, it's really soft considering just how bloody fast it's whipping around. So even if that's going full pelt, if you're in a super quiet room, it's just like the tiniest bit of background white noise. Now the RedMagic 11s Pro boasts yet another gorgeous 6.85-inch full-view AMOLED screen. Not only is it a whopping great spacious bugger, you've got bugger all selfie cam orifice partially obscuring the view. The 2688 by 1216 pixel resolution means that even though this is a large panel, those visuals remain nice and crispy, plenty of fine detail. Got strong contrast, poppy colours as well, really rich and vibrant, especially when playing titles like Wuthering Waves. And at the peak brightness levels, your corneas will be positively smoking as well, so the only time you'll have any trouble seeing what you're doing outdoors on a sunny day is if you're crawling through some sort of murky cave or something. Now refresh rate hits 144 Hz for supported titles, and if you are sensitive to OLED flicker as well, well no worries, you've got over 2500 Hz PWM dimming, and of course all the usual eye comfort shenanigans as well if you're gaming well into the wee hours. And the RedMagic 11s Pro also sports a stereo speaker setup, of course, as you would expect. It's a perfectly decent sound setup, but not front firing speakers or anything. What you've got is a bottom mounted blaster right here, and then up top it's just the earpiece speaker basically. But despite this, the top speaker isn't cack, it's actually reasonably powerful. You get a fairly well balanced bit of audio, although when you max out the volume, not the loudest around, that's for sure. I was expecting a bit more beef, a bit more grunt from certainly a smartphone this sort of size and heft. But hey, all is forgiven RedMagic, because not only do you have basically lag-free wireless streaming support, but also you've got a bloody 3.5mm headphone jack slapped on the top end of this wee bugger. Now, these days, that's rarer than a sober Geordie. Now, as for the battery life, well, no changes there. Again, over the RedMagic 11 Pro, it's once again a 7,500 mAh capacity cell stuffed inside of this lovely wee slab. Certainly one of the biggest batteries around right now, if not quite the biggest. The likes of the Poco X8 Pro Max, for instance, sports an 8,500 mAh battery, but certainly still not to be sniffed at. If you're playing the likes of Call of Duty Mobile, even on the higher graphics settings, you'll get hours and hours and hours of gameplay, no worries. The results aren't quite as fantastic if you are gaming on the likes of Wuthering Waves on the maxed out graphics settings with the full on performance mode shenanigans switched on and everything. At which point you can expect approximately 4.5 hours of non-stop Wuthering Waves action on a 100% full charge before this battery is completely drained. And yeah, I've seen better results from other smartphones, but bear in mind, of course, that's with the overclocked chipset, that's with the super complex cooling system going full pelt, liquid cooling, fans, all the rest of it. So not really too surprising. And hey, if you are running low on juice, well, no worries, just bung a cable in it. It's got 80 watt wired charging, so it won't take much more than an hour to fully replenish that battery. You also have wireless charging support as well. And so my lovelies, let's conclude this lovely wee RedMagic 11s Pro review with a bit of a squint at the camera tech. And perhaps unsurprisingly, it's the exact same camera hardware as what you had stuffed inside of the RedMagic 11 Pro, so a 50meg OmniVision OV50E40 main sensor. Now you've also got an alternative 50 megapixel OmniVision OV50D40 sensor for the ultra-wide shooter. There's no telephoto shenanigans on the RedMagic 11s Pro. That final camera on the back end there is just a basic depth sensor. You've got a small selection of different modes that you can flick between, including a portrait mode, dedicated pro mode as well if you do want to mess around with the likes of the ISO levels, the white balance, and you can shoot in RAW. And, you know, the camera tech's absolutely fine just for simple everyday shenanigans. I don't think anyone's buying gaming phones like the RedMagic 11s Pro for the optics. And using the rear cam setup here on the RedMagic 11s Pro, you can record up to 8K resolution video if you really want to. I'm just shooting this at 4K resolution, pretty crispy visuals. Stabilization could be a bit better if I move it around. Things can be a little bit juddery, but not too bad. The audio pickup nice and clear. And then last up, if we swap around to the front-facing selfie camera, now this isn't the best because it is an under-display selfie camera, of course, to give you that lovely full view screen finish. It's a 16 megapixel sensor, but basically, as you can see from this video, you can only record up to full HD resolution video. There's no 4K option, and frankly, Ultra HD would be a waste of time because everything would still have this kind of murky, grainy, blocky effect anyway. I mean, frankly, this footage looks like it was shot on a BlackBerry from about 10 years ago or something. So if you are looking for something to do a lot of video chatting or vlogging or something, you might want to look elsewhere. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is what I reckon of the RedMagic 11s Pro. It's certainly one of the best gaming smartphones of 2026, not least because it's one of the only gaming smartphones of 2026. And obviously beyond that overclocked chipset, it's all very familiar territory. Certainly if you've got the RedMagic 11 Pro, bugger all reason to upgrade to this one. And in fact, I'd say if you find a good deal on the RedMagic 11 Pro, it's significantly cheaper than the 11s, just grab that instead. But if you absolutely have to have one of the beefiest smartphones around right now in 2026, well, the RedMagic 11s Pro certainly ticks that box with a whopping great permanent marker. Gorgeous screen, solid battery life, some fun RGB type shenanigans, all the usual stuff. But hey, what do you reckon of the RedMagic 11s Pro? Does it really baste your beef? Let us know down in the comments below. And hey, while you're down there, why not poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everybody, love you!